us.
We still have brilliant minds in Nigeria. And Nigeria has one of the most brightest people, let me put it, in the continent. Which is why whenever they travel out of the African landscape, they excel beyond expectation. Now, a young man was speaking on channels, giving an extensive and detailed explanations of how the government can possibly elevate the sufferings of the people. The problem with our government is that they don't act, they keep talking. And even when bright citizens bring up their own contributions, most of the time it falls to deaf ears. Now, this is a clip of what this young man has to say, and very interesting and enlightening.
Those other items that are for immediate rollout, JUDICIARY.
I am happy that the government have suddenly realized that they cannot enjoy on behalf of the people and expect the people not to react. I think some of the things happening in Kenya has put some decorum, some senses in our leadership. A few things we need to quickly mention. The 1 trillion relief package, you just asked me of the 155 billion, which is meant for household relief, but this is a whole 1 trillion, it's a gamut. It's not new. Sometime around 2016, 2017, a government gave 500 billion in relief package. What they called it then was a National Social Investment Program. And to cut long story short, you and I remember that as just a few months ago, officials in that ministry were arrested. Some were questioned, and as we speak, 36 billion has been recovered from them, and $445,000 has been recovered. If you do not plan, if you fail to plan, you plan to fail. The government just throwing money at problems does not solve it, as it were. I live in Edo State. I am talking to you from Benin City, and I am involved in people's life on a daily basis. I cannot point to one family. I have been across the state. I can't point to one family that is captured in the federal government relief package. So it then means from the get-go, there are already problems, and there are vulnerable families everywhere. In my state, for example, if you go to Mission Road, you see people who are there begging day and night. They are there. They depend on cooked food from individuals to survive. Who is capturing those people? Everything cannot be done on the internet. The poorest of the poor are not on the internet. So you have to go down to the root. I have never seen an evaluation officer going from home to home, asking people, please, who needs food here, and who needs to eat here, and who needs relief, and so on and so forth. So there are a number of things. You talked about the governors. You asked me about the governors, the president giving them marching order. It's worrisome that the president needs to have a come-to-Jesus conversation with our governors before they suddenly realize that they need to farm. Governors are the ones that own the land. Federal government has no land, for example. I do not know the job, for example, of Federal Ministry of Agriculture because they have no land. The only land the federal government has is in Abuja. And Abuja has an FCT administration. The governors own the land in their various states. So agriculture is a state project. Every governor should be producing food in their areas of competitive advantage. In Edo State, pineapple grows in Esan land. Cucumber grows in Esan land. Watermelon grows in Esan land. None of this is happening. Palm oil grows in this part of the state, Edo South. Nothing is happening. There are places where granite grow. The governors every month go cap in hand to Abuja to beg. There are certain states in this country that should never be going to Abuja to ask for monthly allocation. Never. A good example is Niger State, with land bigger than 3 countries in Europe. Niger State should never ask for allocation. I know the governor is doing a few things now, and we must mention it that the governor has suddenly realized that he needs to do a few things, and commend him for that effort. So in a nutshell, state government should allow local government function because it's bottom up. The local government, state government must collaborate to feed Nigerians. The federal government, as fantastic as their policies are, it has never worked because you cannot sit in Abuja and pretend to know what is going on in Orion or in Edo State, for example. You can't, it simply will not work. That is why we have had the failure of the Humanitarian Affairs Ministry of the Buhari administration, And then it may likely repeat itself now. In a few years from now, you may hear that some of these monies have been used to purchase houses in Abuja and Lagos. That is why we are asking now. It is time for the government to domesticate policy. State government especially should ask for more and do more with the resources in their that is available to them. The lands are everywhere. If you drive from Benin to Lagos, on both sides of the road are land. If you drive from Benin to Abuja, 700-kilometer road, on both sides of the road, land, uncultivated.
Idris,
and people are hungry.
If I'm about